guys amaze us, and the outpour of love from our community is breathtaking, and we cannot thank you enough for that. I had to write a speech down. I've winged it the past 2 times I've had to speak, but I wasn't sure how I'd do today, and I had to write it in big print because I wasn't sure I could see it on my phone. Stage. So, today I had a really hard time, and this morning I went into Tristan's room, and I went there to cootle, because that's what she always asked. And I just wanted to try to be close to her and be next to her. My heart is broken, and it is devastated. But I made a promise to her today that I was going to keep her memory alive. I was going to make her name shine above all the evil that has happened, and from the goodness that has poured out from her friends, our families, our community, and across the world. I make that promise that I will do something good in her name. For those of you that were blessed to personally know her, you know what an amazing and fiery personality she had, and you can attest that she was the kind of friend that you would like to have, and she always had your back. Tristan's determination to be front and center was evident the day that she was born, because she was the loudest one in the nursery. She was the only blonde one in the nursery, and she was just, here I am. She had a drive in her soul to be the best and always give 100% to achieve her goals. A small story about her drive is when we put Tristyn in swimming, thinking that this was an amazing sport and a life skill. And while she liked it, it was not her passion, so she moved on to lacrosse. Let's talk about that. The realization that it's really, really hot in the outdoors in Florida. And this is not her thing either. But boy, did she want to cheer. I personally could not bear the thought of going back into the cheer and dance world, as I knew the time and commitment that it took for me coaching cheer and her older siblings spending up to 6 hours a day at the cheer gym or the dance studios. But Tristyn was determined to prove to me that she was going to be a cheerleader whether I liked it or not. From teaching herself how to do her splits, her back bends, her back walkovers, just to prove to me how much she wanted to be a cheerleader, I caved. And so it began. This is where her passion and drive grew to be the best she could be. Over the past couple of years, Tristyn was always on all-star cheer and in school cheer. This year, she shared team captain on her POA cheer team with one of her besties. It was a huge goal for her. As our all-star cheer family knows, Summit and Worlds is your goal. Tristyn's ultimate goal was to be in one of these. While at Zone All-Star Cheer, her team achieved getting that bid, but it was sadly taken away from COVID. This past year, Tristyn had switched gyms to Infinity All-Stars, and she became more determined than ever to make that goal happen. These girls from Majesty worked so hard and developed a bond that is unbreakable. They won their UCA cheer competition, and that dream came alive as they got the bid to compete at Summit. Tristyn, you did it. You met your goal. Her drive and passion did not stop there. When she would come home after school, I was always given the tea of the day, and a lot of it because she had a lot to say. She spilled a lot of tea. I would sit here in amazement listening to some of her stories, and I learned she was the kind of friend that I would like to have. She always defended those who could not defend themselves. Some of you may not know it, but she was very sensitive, and she never wanted to disappoint anyone. Tristyn cared deeply for her friends and always wanted to have as many friends as she could. And oh my goodness, she was so funny, you guys, so funny. She could be a silly teenager, but could have heart-to-hearts with an adult like she was an adult. And I think that she truly forgot that they were my friends too. She tried to take them over. She was an honor roll student, determined to succeed academically, going as far as taking her first high school credit online this year just to get ahead in school. There are so many things I could share about this sweet girl, and in the future I will. Her TikTok, that's my squad, and you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us, because we are family. That holds true to every aspect in her life. We are forever changed as a family, but we will always be the Bailey 7. For now, I will follow what Tristyn has always said. Get it together. You got this, Mom. Always and forever, my cheerleader and my sweet baby girl.
Difficult for me to know where to pick up. There's been a lot of words said, Tristyn described in a lot of ways, a lot of stories shared, and I've realized that I actually enjoy keeping the Tristyn that I know close to me and keeping those memories close to me. I will share a few. And one of them I've shared before, and it just struck me as everybody was talking about her determination and her drive and things like that. When she first started in cheer, and she was at Zone and she was working, and she had a coach that was challenging her. And it was tough and it was hard. And I remember talking to her, and God, I love those rides home from gym, and there's nothing better than when it's just you and your child in the car and you can talk, right? And talked to her, and I said, well, what do you think the motivation of the coach is? Why do you think she's doing this? What are your common goals? And we talked about it. The coach wanted her to be better. And we said each and every day she was going to turn around and she was going to go to that coach, and she's going to say, thank you for believing in me, thank you for trusting me, thank you for making me better. And Mel, thank you for being that coach. For those of you in it at Infinity, thank you for continuing to push her, because those are the people that care about us, the people that bring out the best in us. And I've been very, very fortunate. I think each of my children have been touched by great coaches. In listening to this, I know there's been a lot of us, and I want to just take the blame for that. I always wanted a large family. So when Stacy and I met, I said, hey, I wanted to have 4 to 6 goals. That was 4 to 6 children. That was my goal in life. Okay? I wanted 4 to 6 children. It has been my most meaningful goal ever. And it's been the thing that has brought me the most joy in my life. And I am so proud of each and every one of my children and the blessings they are. Thank you all, and keep her with you. And with all of that, it is never lost on me each and every day that there are reasons why I've been as blessed as I have in that regard. And first of all, I've been very fortunate to have the most incredible parents who have always been there and always supported me. My wife has had an incredible parents who have always been there, and particularly Jean, everything that you've done for Stacy. And the foundation of our family, and I think Brittany said it, or it may have been Alexis, I don't know, one of the two of them. They weren't really good at the household chores because Stacy took care of everything. And the heart of our family, and the reason that our family is what it is because of my wife, Stacy. And I am incredibly grateful for you. Love you. With that, I do want to return to the element of cheer. And guys, I've been to a few cheer competitions. I didn't go to all of them. I know that that's a lot of mom-daughter trips and all of those things. The hotels really like it. You guys do great with all of the socializing too. But I've never heard a group of cheerleaders as quiet as I've heard this group. So a couple times I'm going to ask you to get really loud. Forgive me, respective pastors here. You guys killed Tristan's song list, so we got to go somewhere, okay? And with that, I really want to, kind of take a step back. And I think the big thing is last Sunday, when we were missing Tristan, we reached out and we asked for help, and was completely overwhelmed, just completely and totally overwhelmed with the amount of help that we had. And the help came from a number of places. You can see we have friends who have become family, and they were there. And that allowed me to stay at home with my family while other people were searching. So to my community, I want to say thank you. The big cheer that I need everybody up there, and I would ask everybody in the room to really join me with, is from the initial start, this team over here, the St. John's Sheriff Office, they were there. It was tireless eventually they were told they had to take the weekend off to wait for information to come in because they were working around the clock. They have been in our homes. They've kept us apprised as we need to be apprised. But even though they were doing their job, they did their job with love and compassion towards us. And never at any point in time did I question that they were investigating and going through every single thing that they possibly could. So to all of you, on behalf of my family, we cannot thank you enough for everything that you and your colleagues have done. God bless you, and I would ask everybody to cheer these people. From there, once I realized that Tristan wasn't going to be coming home as we had hoped for, I asked for privacy. We didn't get it. I will just say that. But what we got is what we needed. And so immediately we had messages from so many people, and we had messages from many of you here in the room. Thank you. I learned something very, very difficult, and that is there are no words. When you give somebody your thoughts and prayers, you are giving them everything that you can possibly give them. And for everybody who has done that, thank you. That's all you can say. There are no words to say. There are no words that will heal it. So all of the messages that poured in from people all over the place, they helped us. Then we started to have the tributes that kind of came in. My son-in-law is a firefighter. Again, another group that doesn't get enough thanks. And another group that, whenever called upon, is there and taking care of our community. Case in point, I have no doubt that some of you that are here today were fighting that fire yesterday. So thank you again. Well, we've talked a lot about the Lord in here, and we've talked about God. Anyone who knows me knows that I also have strong roots in our Western heritage. I consider the mountains home, and as part of that, some of that comes to me. And there's been several things that have hit me this week, and there's one of my favorite stories that kind of goes around, and it's kind of told, and there's a question as to what tribe that it comes from, but it's typically attributed to a Cherokee tribe. And it goes somewhere along the line that a Cherokee older was sitting there talking with his grandson, and was talking to his grandson about the battle that goes on within us, and was talking about two wolves fighting. And he said, there is one wolf that is evil. It is anger, envy, jealousy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. The other wolf is good. It's joy, peace and love, hope and serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. And the grandson posed the question to the elder and says, which wolf wins? And the elder's response is, the one you feed. And that's what I think hit me this week. We asked for privacy. I will speak for myself and say that I was filled with sorrow. I was filled with a lot of angst. But what we received was love. And so it started almost immediately. We had family coming to town. We had friends that came over. We had people bringing us food. We had the messages. We had incredible support, people letting us know what was going on with Tristan. Monday morning we woke up. We had an entire school, thank you, wear white to remember Tristan. There was a rock that was painted. Then later that evening, there was a vigil that I think I heard somebody said had 3,000 people in it. And in addition to that, when we couldn't attend it, we had local news that streamed it so that we could see it. We've had the support, and then it's just grown. So the North Amenity Center has become a tribute. We've seen this color all over the place. The bows, the video tributes, ribbons, again, the food coming in, Infinity Zone having things, remembering her, stickers that came in. Again, we asked for nothing, but people so wanted to give that we've been overwhelmed with contributions that have come to the community that is going to enable us to make sure we remember her name. And we're grateful for all of this. On Friday, we had probably one of the most unexpected things when a number of the streetcar clubs decided to drive through our quiet neighborhood late in the evening, teal lights all over the place. And I understand it is a group that typically doesn't get together They are typically doing their own things, but many of them came together to drive through to pay tribute to Tristyn. We've had workouts. We've had 5Ks being organized. We've had a number of businesses that have reached out to support, and many of them have asked to be anonymous. We all have benefited because we've had our colleagues step in for us and say, don't worry about anything, worry about your family. So for all of you at Brush, we appreciate it. Rob, Christy, Omar, thank you for supporting Alexis. I've had outreaches from people all over that I've worked with, but the support that I've had from my Deutsche Bank family has been absolutely incredible, and I thank you as well. And it's always about remembering this. But I've realized this is not just about support for us. It is about support for the community. It is us saying that we're all right. It is us saying that we have love, and our love is greater than the evil that can exist in the world. So, last week I asked for privacy and didn't get it, yet it gave us the love and the support that we needed. Tonight I'm actually going to ask for something. So for all of you that knew Tristyn, all of you that were on a team with Tristyn, that were in class with Tristyn, that were, on the rides and got the tea, I need you to do one thing. When things get difficult, when things are tough, when you want to achieve something, but it's challenging, I want you to hear one more additional voice in your head encouraging you forward. And you did that when we saw all the tributes that came in of the bows last weekend, when we saw the local teams that were wearing teal, the baseball uniforms. We want you to continue that further and really take her name to heart and hear her cheering you on. So I would ask that for each of you. For everybody who's here in the audience and anybody who's watching virtually, I have another request. We've had a number of people reach out, and I've had a number of very dear friends who unfortunately are part of the same unfortunate brotherhood where they've lost children. And there's many people that have lost loved ones. Please, if you can, today, tomorrow, the next few days, give them your love, because it never goes away. They're always going to be hurting. It's always within them, and they need to feel the love that we've had an opportunity to feel this week. So please, please, please show them your love. And I would ask all of you to do that. The other thing is, as you drive around and as you see all of these ribbons, you see all the tributes that are going on, for everybody who's here, for everybody, we've heard from people in almost every state, all kinds of countries that are going on. Tristyn, I guess, wanted to go viral, and she went viral. And we have a movement as a result here. But the thing that I would say is, when you see these things, recognize you're seeing expressions of love. Take that to heart. Use that to get past all the bad in the world. And one of the greatest treasures we've had is our Sunday nights. We sit down to dinner together. The electronics are off. Please find that time to sit down with your loved ones. We have too many distractions, and I think having that time is important. So I would ask you guys to also find the time to do that. With that, I want to bring the rest of the Bailey 7 up here, because we need you to find the bottom of your lungs, because on 3, we're looking for a Tristyn Bailey strong. So with everything you got, 1, 2, 3.